Yeah, the Peach Bowl Conference, they are new. Obviously, the last year the Big Ten was new, but it's gotten nice establishment this year. And I mean, Illinois has never been a bad team whatsoever. I mean, through the collegiate history of League of Legends, about 3 or 4 years ago, they popped up and actually made some good waves in the CSL brackets of collegiate play. And they haven't really stopped. Now the Big Ten being introduced, actually giving them a little bit more of a resource for themselves to create a better team. Peach Bowl Conference, not quite the same story. They're new. North Georgia, they won the Peach Bowl Conference, but definitely going to be looking toward next year to really establish that program. This is a preliminary year, and congratulations to them. They are here, but Illinois, they are looking to favors as we get into pick and bans here.
Exactly. In Illinois, the whole of Big Ten actually has never represented at the national championships ever since the Big Ten Conference was established for esports for League of Legends. So both number 1 and number 2, both Maryland and Illinois, definitely looking to set the tone, change the story here, but we are getting into pick and bans for game number 1. That will be North Georgia on the blue side here. Illinois countering out on the red. Best of 3. First 1 of 2 wins will take this match.
Yeah, North Georgia, they are starting out the bans here with the Rise, Zach, and Ezreal. Illinois, they got the Swain and the Kazakhs off. Last ban is going to be the Kai'Sa, so sticking to those meta picks with that Kai'Sa, very strong pick along with Swain in that mid lane. While over on the other side, Zach, also a big pick. Ezreal, a little bit targeted toward Project 1. That's something they are preparing for as they lock in Xayah here.
So far with the Xayah lock-in, there has definitely been a change in the ADC meta nowadays where the Caitlyn plus Jhin seem to be the front runners. You can control the lane so much with those two pick, especially now that Morgana's also left open. Would not be shocked to see the Caitlyn plus Morgana early rotation, but Kindred is not something that's been anywhere near the meta as of late, but I mean, Peach Bowl Conference, sometimes when you're looking up at a bigger opponent, you gotta take some shots.
Yeah, that's actually Illinois.
There we go.
There's Illinois locking in the Morgana. So yeah, I'm glad we're not going to see a Shaco. Kindred, I'm actually okay with as far in comparison to a Shaco, but Morgana, a lot more sensible of a pick. So they have the bot lane showing already on the both sides. Rakan and Xayah locked in. Yeah, and probably, I would say almost an equally powerful lane, but Morgana Black Shield does give a lot of trouble with that initiation.
Yeah. This honestly feels like North Georgia are stuck a few patches in the past, so this is what they would have been playing majority of their group stages in. The Xayah Rakan bot lane has fallen off as of late, just as Morgana Caitlyn has started coming back up. Caitlyn with a lot more favorable position in the meta, getting that one-item spike. Morgana also able to facilitate a lot of that early damage. If you hit a Morgana binding, you're going to land the Caitlyn trap as well, just leading for incredibly aggressive trades in the laning phase. But that being said, a slow Morgana Black Shield easily can turn around with a Xayah Rakan initiation. I mean, when you throw a J4 on top of that, there is so much engage potential now for North Georgia.
Yeah, definitely going back a few patches. Going to see if that one still works for North Georgia as we see Skarner locked in. They're keeping themselves updated on the meta and going in with that meta jungle pick as they ban away Galio, taking that one away from Spirit Animal of North Georgia, and likewise going to be the Anivia taken away from Xeno. So a lot of focus on the mid lane bans coming into the second phase as there's still no mid laners. Only the bot lane and the junglers have been picked. So
top lane's up as well.
Top lane, there we go. And that's actually some focus on the top lane. Ornn being taken away. That's from Nimeret from North Georgia. So going to have that big initiation that Ornn is known for taken away.
Sign is still up there in the top lane. And New Irelia, Sign is no longer up there in the top lane. But New Irelia is available for play. Definitely a great way to combo with the Xayah Rakan. Your ultimate as Irelia locks people down. They can't leave this. They can't leave that diamond area in a fight, otherwise they're disarmed. That's great for initiating with Khan and J4, but they will be continuing along just with the aggressive top laners. You got enough sustain in the lane with a Cho'Gath to basically blind pick it, so they're going to be saving that mid lane, though, for the counter pickup. We have to see if that's going to help them out at all in that one.
That gives North Georgia the ability to counter pick that top lane, though. Like you said, Cho'Gath, very safe, going to be able to pretty much be all right into most picks in that top side, especially Ornn and Sion both taken away here. Let me see what Quick Crit decides to lock in here. Might actually just let it go all the way to 0. Tahm Kench locked in. That's a Tahm Kench top? I think that's actually a Tahm Kench top lane. It has to be because Rakan is the boss side with Xayah. So actually, I think that has to be a Tahm Kench. I can't imagine him going mid lane.
So we talked about this a little bit before on yesterday's stream over on C-Star League 2 when we had the matchup of Maryland versus Georgia, another Peach Belt versus Big Ten matchup where Georgia's got completely blown out of the water in 2 15-minute games. It wasn't really close. But this is kind of the Gigabyte Marines effect. You need to bring something new to the table. Because, I mean, Illinois have already shown that they can play the meta very well. Every single one of these picks are probably top tier in the meta at the moment. But now with a Tahm Kench in the top lane, you're adding in that extra question mark factor. Tahm Kench does very well in the top lane into these sort of tanks. He can do percent max HP damage against Shogath with the consume, really enable J4 on this top lane push as well. The question then becomes, how well does a fed Tahm Kench actually translate into good mid to late game pressure? There you kind of have me on the ropes, but either way, it could be a way for North of Georgia to at least start off this game on the right foot.
Yeah, that is going to be a big question mark and something I'm interested to see if North Georgia can take advantage of because, yeah, they are kind of throwing a curveball at Illinois. But Illinois, though, they're kind of answering back. Only in the mid lane, though. That's a LeBlanc. We don't see too many competitive LeBlancs these days. The Assassins in the mid lane, not really prevalent, but we're going to see a LeBlanc coming out from Illinois, and that's going to be interesting. Going against an Ari, who in herself is, an assassin with the Spirit Rush, things like that. That's I'm anxious to see how this mid lane is going to be turning out, along with that top lane. The solo lane is going to be a big factor in this laning phase.
I think the mid lane especially is going to be the biggest turning point of this matchup because you have two teams with two very distinct compositions, and they're almost actually like perfect images of what their brackets are. The Peach Belt team coming out, the North Georgia squad, they're going with this full-on engage comp. It's a very simple style, but if you play it well, it works great for you. Early spiking on Xayah with 2 items, Ari always going to be relevant in the early game, plus a J4 plus Recon to facilitate that engage, and then a Tahm Kench because why the heck not in the top lane. If they get a snowball rolling, they can keep it on going, and it doesn't require that much execution to actually start just turning the game over. Where on the other side, Illinois potentially a bit more practice composition, the team that everyone's thinking is going to walk away with this one in a clean 2-0. They've elected for a pick style, much more reliant on getting some lanes ahead, pressing that early vision game, and especially getting this LeBlanc plus Caitlyn duo rolling off to an early lead. But that definitely falls apart if they start getting engaged on. So far, North Georgia, they're giving themselves all the tools they need in the early game. But now the question is, can they actually convert?
Yeah, that's going to be the big question mark for North Georgia and Illinois. They're going to do everything in their power to stop that. Tahm Kench, though, again, like you said, does percent health damage, also very good at just protecting ADCs or any valuable targets. So still going to have that factor over on North Georgia, but yeah, it is interesting the team comp that they are drafting, and LeBlanc is going to be very exciting. I haven't actually casted LeBlanc in a very long time, so I'm very excited to see Zeno on the side of Illinois be able to play that one. But we are counting down. Once again, my name is Joshua Fekasquez here with Stephen Return Johnson. I'm going to give a few shout outs to our plugs and sponsors here. First one, of course, ! Discord in the chat. Type that. You can join our Discord community, be a part of it, get in on some of the fun, some of the action, and just have a community all in CSL. You can also follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/cstarleague or twitter.com/CSLLOL if you're just interested in purely collegiate League of Legends material. Also, facebook.com/CStarleague. If you missed any of the games, any of the talk shows, Ward Up, the Quad, any of the previous action from yesterday or last week that you want to go watch, go check us out on YouTube at youtube.com/CStarleague.
And hey, Josh.
What's up?
I've been having an issue playing Fortnite where I'm playing the game, also my controller dies. Do you have any good recommendations for how I can avoid that?
I just might, because we have Juice Battery on our side as well. And if you're having trouble with the battery life on your controllers, Juice Battery has batteries that have lifetime up to 6 times the amount of normal batteries. Not to mention they also charge 2 times as fast as well. Incredible product. Go check that out. That way you won't die in Fortnite from losing your juice on the control. That's one of our sponsors. Of course, another one we want to thank is also Twitch as well. They've been here from the very beginning, helping grow and cultivate the collegiate community of esports, not just League of Legends, but to my heart, League of Legends is very important, and they've helped with that from the very beginning as well. Wouldn't be here without them, so thank you very much, Twitch, and go follow them on twitter.com/Twitch and facebook.com/Twitch. And again, you're probably watching us here, so once again, thank you very much for joining us, and thank you, Twitch. We're getting into the game pretty soon, though. I was actually trying to factor in a little bit of time for that juice battery ad, but we actually got through that pretty quickly. So got a little bit of seconds to work with going into this game.
Yeah, always good to get some more sponsors on. Hopefully they'll be helping us make our events over at Huntington Beach. If any of you guys are fans or in the California area, make sure you guys go stop by. We'll have all the JV action plus the rest of our esports. We're going to have some basically everything else. I don't think StarCraft's there, but basically all of our CSL leagues will be accumulating there. But that's not what we're talking about right now. We are talking about Collegiate League of Legends. We got some national championship final spots on the line here, ladies and gentlemen. And I have to say, Illinois, this could be do or die.
Yeah, very much so. They need to prove that they have what it takes. So they're in Group B. That's with Columbia College. That's and George Mason, two big powerhouses that they have to get through. North Georgia here as well. They don't fear North Georgia that much. And again, Peach Belt Conference, they're still young. They're cultivating themselves for the future right now. But Illinois, they've had time to cultivate. They're there. They want to take on the big powerhouses like George Mason and Columbia College. But so two groups in the round robin. They're in Group B. And that's the two big powerhouses they need to get through. North Georgia is one step forward in the right direction if they can get through them here today.
Exactly, and there's no better feeling as the underdogs to play spoilers. There is a very realistic scenario here where if North Georgia go 0-3 on the group stage, only being able to play 3 matches in entirety, there is a two-way tie between second and third place at 2-1. If that happens, so much actually starts to factor in because I don't believe we will actually play any tiebreakers matches. So if North Georgia is able to take a match off of somebody here or just survive longer, that could be the difference between making those national championship finals and being knocked out in this stage right here. But looks like so far on the map, North Georgia maybe trying to predict an invade here against the team with the Morgana. Doesn't look like they're going to find anything though.
No, it looks like the line scrimmage is being drawn by Illinois, and they're just using themselves as human wards right now, champion wards if you want to go that route, but no wards actually being thrown down except from Hira Momo, I should say. High ride Momo. Either I was calling Momo. No, only him throwing down the ward right now, and that's just for information on his own side of the jungle. Not too much going to be gathered from Illinois. With that being said, they don't know where Illinois' jungler is going to be starting.
Yeah, nothing being caught out just yet, and I do like this early game coming out from Illinois. Something we saw yesterday with Maryland versus Georgia College. Even though basically every single game was sub 20 minutes, there were a lot of points where Maryland very clearly overstepped, made mistakes that a potentially better team would be able to capitalize on. In Illinois, they're taking these games very seriously. That being said, it's only 1:30 into game number 1. Certainly plenty more time to start overstepping your bounds, but I do like this mindset they're coming into each and every match, basically expecting nothing less than perfection. Engage on the bot side.
As we get into it, already an engage coming on. Not too much going to be happening from that one, though. Did get a heal, actually, out of Project 1, so that's pretty huge. And as you might wonder why I'm a little bit delayed on that one, my client froze for a split second, but I was rolling with it, but they decided to get a little aggressive and not let me have the bluff there. But yeah, heal overall taken away from Project 1. That's actually a really good start for bot lane North Georgia.
Yeah, I mean, there was a good rotation up, so Budget Box actually started on the top side of the map, meaning that he's going to finish about 3:30 onto this bot side, maybe looking to facilitate even more of those plays, but North Georgia are already isolating where they want to play around. Unfortunately, they only got the heal out of Project, so still going to be pretty darn aggressive. Mid lane trading. Spirit's still looking pretty healthy there.
Speaking of aggression, yeah, Zeno, he's taking a lot of damage, so he's going to be chugging those health pots. Meanwhile, on the bot side, Jordan new, but that's probably not the story right now. Minsu in the top side, he's going to be getting a flash out of the Tom Kinch, and then there's a knock-up. Not really going to be picking up too much there. He's underneath the turret, takes one turret shot from Minsu, has to get out, but Flash gotten out of the Tom Kinch nonetheless.
Yeah, the potential issue with the Tom Kench here in the top lane is it's almost a pseudo melee into ranged matchup. Sure, top on the Cho'Gath does technically have a melee attack range, but with his E-spikes, he's able to throw out damage further than what Nim is going to be able to do, and that does give him the slight pushing advantage, that does give him the slight trading advantage. Although, if Budget Box does come up here and start influencing this matchup, I would definitely give the advantage over towards the top jungle duo from North Georgia. More lockdown, but he's currently on the bot side of the map, but no flashes burned just yet.
Oh, nice Black Shield from Ginormous Noob, and actually going to follow it up with the Dark Binding onto Budget Box, so he actually doesn't get any sort of flash out of him and takes a little bit of damage himself, so very nice counter by the bot side of Illinois.
Yeah, and this is great play coming out of Project, but...
Yeah, but actually the exhausted going down on the Project, now that you mention it, Momo, he gets ignited, has to flash out, heal used as well, quick crit, wants to make sure his lane mate stays alive. So that's two big summoners down for Momo on the bot side, and the heal down for quick crit.
Project and Ginormous' Flash may be the most important spells in this entire matchup, because what Xayah and Rakan want is just the threat of constant engages. As long as you have the Black Shield, as long as you have flashes on Project and Ginormous, there's not too much aside from pushing that they're going to be able to do, but with that down, they're going to have the engage potential, but here in the mid lane,
Yeah, the root is going to be going through from Xeno and actually gets the flash out of Spirit Animal. So a lot of aggression from these junglers thus far, kind of setting the tone for the entire game.
Yeah, but the big thing is every one of these ganks are blowing somebody's flashes. That is the perfect thing you want to see at the jungle. But bot lane.
Oh, Project One, he is going to go down. That was a big flash engage coming out from Quick Crit and Momo. Now on the top side, Nimeret may be going down as well. He's on the wrong side of town, not going to be able to get into his own turret. Who's going to pick that one up? It is Minsu. So trade for trade, but First Blood does go over to Momo, the support of North Georgia.
Yeah, and the bot lane duo of Xayah plus Rakan is so crucial to get ahead in the early game. Because if you start getting to the mid game point where Project gets the first item, he hard out trades Quick Crit for a majority of the game up until Quick Crit completes the 2-item spike, is ready to go in team fight. But now that you set the Caitlyn behind, you give the extra priority to the Xayah Rakan lane, they can continue to threaten that engage. And unless they get some assistance now from Xeno and from Minsu, there's not too much they can do about it. That means they're going to have to start playing more around this top portion of the map, or at the very least start getting Xeno ahead, because, I mean, just look at the mid lane matchup as well. Spirit Animal hard outshove Xeno just with the Q poke.
With that being said, though, Xeno is heavily farming in that mid lane, way over Spirit Animal, putting a lot of pressure onto him. 25 CS to 44, so there is definitely some mind games being played, if anything, because Spirit Animal, yeah, like you said, should be able to farm pretty easily with the Orb of Deception, but Xeno, he's got his number. He got him kind of scouted and have him on the back foot. As we see a little bit more aggression in that mid lane. A lot of damage going down on Spirit Animal, and we're seeing now why, if Spirit Animal's having such a hard time farming, every time he does, you know, it's going to go up and do some damage.
Yeah, no, that is a very interesting... you would expect the trading at least to go LeBlanc's way, but the raw pushing potential to be in Spirit Animal's favor, just because you have the more constant pushing power, you have all that, but you could also see the argument, but forget about all that, Minsu, he's on top lane.
He is on top lane, no level 6, but there's still no flash on Nimeret, and that means he is going to go down very easily, caught without a ward. Actually, no, he did have a ward, just he was so far pushed, didn't matter, and you have Minsu with the Predator. He's going to go down, Minsu picking up that kill.
And this is now just exploitation of the top lane. Nim already went down once, he no longer had the flash, and he was still pushing that lane out. These are the sort of things that start to tilt the game in one way or another. This is where you can really start taking advantage of a less experienced group, and the lack of discipline in the top lane could very quickly snowball into some TPs down to the bot side, the runaway, and then not having the ability to actually carry through. But
oh, a flash. Here comes Abyssal Voyage, though. A flash from Minsu to try to pick up Spirit Animal. Xenu's actually going to pick up that kill on the back line, and they get the blue buff as well. Nimeret, though, he's on the wrong side. He's actually in his own jungle, but that's still the wrong side of town, considering you're 1v3. Use the Abyssal Voyage, so he can't get out whatsoever. Still doesn't have that flash, and he goes down for a third time in this game.
Yeah, with no top laner and already losing mid lane, you cannot go take that blue buff by yourself. You need the jungler to leash it to you. You need somebody there to get your back, because Illinois, they called their bluff. They went straight in on that play, and they got very happily rewarded. And now this is the first major gold lead we've seen all game. 7 minutes in, 2k gold advantage onto the side for Illinois, and as long as this bot lane starts at least not taking advantage, but holds firm. He's got the cull, he's going to be scaling up, and Illinois are very comfortably getting ready for this pick game to start.
Xeno and Minsu looking good right now. Top lane, Topopotamus. You know, as a Cho'Gath, you don't really need kills, but it's getting those assists. 100% kill participation because of how much aggression is being put on the top side right now. Very nice scouting by Minsu, going in to evade the blue buff over on the side of Budget Box. As he showed the bot side, that's how we're getting to this position right now. As yeah, there's a lot of aggression being put onto that top half of the map from Illinois. They've seen the weakness of North Georgia and try to exploit it as much as possible, and just trying to hope that Ginormous Noob and Project One just sort of, like you said, keeps it calm and just farms up. Ginormous Noob, it is worth noting, he's actually been on this team for quite a while. He's been a Collegiate League of Legends player for quite a bit, so he knows how it works on the bot side. And so much damage, my God, Xenu, he has the advantage of those 2 kills, and now he has the item, power, and Spirit Animal. Has nothing to answer for it.
The importance of this mid lane is that technically both of those champions in LeBlanc and Ahri are assassins. That means they need to get snowballing to keep going through the lane, because they both have engage potential on each other. They both have kill pressure over each other. And now that Xeno has such a massive lead, he's going to be able to get that Hextech Gunblade. He's going to be able to have the healing in the laning phase. and just pound for pound, ability for ability, out-trade Spirit Animal. And when you look at the junglers too, even the ganking on Xeno's side is more effective in the Impale. Just grab the Ahri back there, she can't ult away. And every single thing here is now pointing to a mid lane that's going hard in favor for Illinois.
Oh, Momo with that Rakan and Zayak synergy, being able to get out, but not fast enough. He's actually going to be suppressed, brought in. That's not even Momo. I'm sorry, that is Quick Crit. Quick Crit was just left to die. Momo jumped over the wall. So pick up by at the Dragon Pit by Illinois, and now that's going to prompt him to start the Dragon.
And Xeno right now just completely taking over the Rift. There's not a single soul alive that can contest him, or even for that, a single soul currently not alive either. Because he is just lining people up and knocking them down still. The only kill on the map, and honestly, the only advantage still lies in the bottom lane for North Georgia. And with this team fight composition, you need things to start coming together pretty soon. They need to be able to group up as 5 and actually force some fights, but already
Top Potamus.
a little too late.
Yeah, he got stunned up, so he's not going to be. He uses feast as well, so not going to be able to pick up Nimeret there. But Nimeret does have quite a low health bar, going to regen some of that gray health back. But Topopotamus, though, he has his number on the top side. Not too much stopping him besides just patience and time. I'm going to keep him from getting into that turret and possibly even diving Nimeret if he gets that feast back up. He does have his flash up, so not been
Budget
pressured
box
whatsoever. Yeah, budget box. I was going to say he hasn't been pressured that much, but now the budget box is up here. Again, he does have flash. Budget box going in, going to be zoned off by the rupture and just completely back away.
And this is the big difference between the jungling, between Minso and Budget Box. Budget Box walks in that lane knowing there's a control ward there, knowing that Topotamus is going to be able to back away almost immediately, not even having to blow a flash. Ooh, great trading in the mid lane, as is still so far ahead. It's basically unlaneable at this point. But even so, whenever Budget Box goes into a gank, he's not ever able to pull a flash. He's never finding the right time to go, and that basically forces the enemy to blow something. But Minsu, every time he appears in the lane, 1 to 2 flashes immediately gone. It sets up for the return gank, and then he executes on it. He has been in every single kill this game so far.
100% kill participation at 11 minutes and 30 seconds. Minsu making his presence felt in the top side. The Dragon Pit, he's been very well, but he's going to actually go back to the top side. But as Nimeret decides just to completely back off, he doesn't want to give up any more kills, and he may just give up the turret as a consequence.
Budget Box did just walk over control. I'm not sure if he noticed it right here behind the red buff rather.
Yeah.
But either way, that's going to mean squad for Illinois is going to be able to back out quite comfortably. Still no towers being taken just yet, but keep your eyes on Xeno. His roaming around the map is basically what's going to finally break open this match.
Yes, teleport hasn't even really used it to teleport around the map. He's literally just been walking to his position, so props to him to have that awareness, being able to shove and pressure Spirit Animal enough to be able to have that sort of freedom, something you don't often see in the mid lane, especially going against an Ahri, but having that sort of formula figured out, being able to do that. Meanwhile, Minsu, he has the jungle camps time, I should say, on the side of Budget Box, and he is out farming him very heavily, 54 CS to 82, and I think he just stole another blue buff away from Budget Box.
Yeah, Minsu is just exerting his control over this map. He's doing a fabulous job because the bot lane and top lane, Topopotamus and Project Ginormous aren't doing anything that impressive, but he is setting up all these lanes for success, and once again,
just like this right
he's got a
here,
taste for catfish.
He loves catfish. He is a scorpion, and he's going to eat the catfish in the top side, or is it going to be
just like
Topopotamus he's going to be eating up here? There he is. Actually, Topopotamus. Voidlings like catfish as well, so another kill going over to from the top side this time to Topopotamus.
And that is just stressing the advantage all over the map. And now we're at this point where North Georgia don't really have any advantage anywhere. They need to really double down on the Zyrakan engage. Because still with how things are going, Project 1, sure, he's about 6 CS behind. He's not that far behind as well, but that could be a kill.
More than likely, yeah, that's going to be a huge kill. That was a nice Dark Binding followed by a Snap Trap and some crit shots, but there's more action in the jungle as Xeno just 1v1 Budget Box. No problem, easy peasy for the LeBlanc.
All right, now we're at a very concerning time for North Georgia. There's not a single lane that can stand up to their direct counterparts, and the bot lane was kind of their last respite of hope. 13 minutes into this game, nearing on 14, nearing 6K gold lead for the Illinois squad. They let another binding. It's just not looking too convincing for them right now.
Not whatsoever. And Xeno actually gets the ethereal chains in the mid lane. Spirit Animal gonna Spirit Rush out, having to use his ultimate defensively. That's never how you want to play an Ahri, but he is being forced to do so. Only one death, and he wants to keep it that way. But he's not going to be able to get any kills against Xeno anytime soon, unless there's some interference from Budget Box, who's having a hard time in the jungle.
Yeah, Budget Box. You pick the J4 because of its early ganking. Oh. We've seen it, unfortunately, too many times. 5 times now in a row. But either way, a Budget Box in the jungle, you pick the J4 because of its early laning pressure. You can literally go for the level 2 gank. Electrocute gives you enough time to trade in the lane, but 2v1 of this top lane once again. I'm not sure what Nim was really expecting up here when he walked back into this lane.
He has one ward, and that's at the blue buff. You can easily dodge that. He has flash. Not even going to use it. He knows it's there. It is. He's going to be able to use that time around. But he's still going to be by the rusher, and he's still going to be going down. Tower diving at this point in the game, easy for both Minsu and Topopotamus. Just another kill for Minsu. 304. Now he's going to go into the enemy jungle because why not? He has map control all over.
Animal still on the mid lane. That is a solo Project 1 on the mid lane as well. But if right now, if you're North Georgia, you need to establish some amount of control in your jungle. Find those picks, put 2 people together. Your Ahri does still have a decent amount of pick potential, plus the J4, you still have Electrocute. You have enough damage to kill somebody. You need to pick them out, because if you do not establish that, at least some sort of gold response, you're now nearly 8k down within the next, let's say, 2 to 3 minutes. There is no catching up. Project is already on its first item. The split pushing potential for Xeno is already there. He's setting up. You need to put this game at least something back in your favor before things start snowballing out of control.
It may have already snowballed out of control because it is 8k spread right now in favor of Illinois, and this might be the time where North Georgia just has to think about game number 2. This is a best of 3. Nice black shield. This is one of just the quick timing, the mechanics, the map awareness of the team of Illinois. As you saw, Ginormous Noob put a very clutch black shield onto Project 1. That's just sort of the things that have been piling up on the side of Illinois to put pressure onto North Georgia. And like I said, it might be the time where North Georgia just starts thinking about game number 2 because it's getting very out of hand in game number 1 already at 16 minutes. And
Xeno's got this.
Oh, yeah, very nice ultimate coming out from Quick Crit. Now Budget Box there. He is going to be able to chase off Xeno. So a little bit of reprieve. That was an assassination attempt that did not work, and a flash out of Xeno.
The flash is big, but the problem is that Xeno didn't burn too dreadfully much to make that happen. He can easily just continue the split push game. North Georgia need to find a way to put Illinois at a discomfortable position, try to force the engage with Rakan Zaya, try to pick someone with Spirit Animals, Ahri as well, but Illinois are literally doing everything they want to right now, and you cannot let the dominant team get away with something like that. Here's engage.
Yeah, Minsu, he's coming in hot. He's going to be charmed up, but still, the Impale going to go through onto Momo. Budget Box is there, and it actually does pick up Xeno, so that is a shutdown going over to North Georgia. Topopotamus going to be using a teleport on the bot side just to make sure no one chases onto Minsu, but Xeno did go down. That is a little bit of breath of fresh air for North Georgia. They're still going to go on this one, thinking they have a target here. Ginormous Noob, he's on the backside. Lands Dark Binding onto Budget Box. Can he make it out? Flag and Drag is not going to be enough. Ace in the hole from downtown. Project 1 picking up that kill. Now Quick Crit, nowhere to go. He's going to go down as well. 4 strong for Illinois on the bot side. They pop the Rip Herald. They want this turret.
Yeah, now, there definitely was a little bit of an overextension from Illinois trying to pull out both the Rift Herald and the bot lane play at the same time, but honestly, when you're this far ahead in gold lead, things just stop mattering. They're able to bring people down after losing their main carry in Xeno, but it doesn't matter. Minso, Topopotamus are too big to kill. This is a Quick Crit doesn't even, before the fight, didn't even have a completed item. Mid lane Ahri, 18 minutes into the game, still does not have a single completed item. It's just not there right now. There is no way to kill any member on the side of Illinois if they even tried, and this is going to be a huge issue. Because, yeah, there's nothing you can do anymore. You basically need to pray at this point that Illinois hands you the game.
Yeah, essentially, you have to catch him out 5v1, and Minsu, if you catch him out, he actually built a Quicksilver Sash just to keep himself more mobile, make sure there's no lockdown onto him. So He's even going to be hard to take down. And then, of course, you have Topopotamus with the banner command, sticking to the meta despite having such a great lead right now, 2-0-6. Budget Box maybe getting caught out in his own jungle here. Or Minsu maybe getting a little over aggressive. Zeno is there to back him up. They are not privy on the side of North Georgia. Spirit Animal, he gets chunked, but still gonna make it out alive. Zeno is gonna make it out just by flashing, or actually, using his abilities to get out. Meanwhile, in the mid lane though, Illinois, they've been taking down the turret. This is actually a 5v2 in favor of Illinois, which is insane at this point. Zeno, double kill. That's also the mid lane turret going down because they have an empowered minion with the banner command on that cannon.
And unfortunately, still for North Georgia, nothing has changed. There's not enough in the tanks to take down even one member. Keep in mind that this is also a Skirner too, so eventually you got to pay the Skirner tax. You got to pick up the QSS, but Zeno getting a little bit too aggressive. He's got backup.
Yeah, quick feet coming out from Zeno. He's going to go back in, but there's a Spirit Rush from Spirit Animal. He's going to make it out safely and into a safe area as well. No distortion, something I could not say earlier. It's going to be able to get him in position. But meanwhile, Ginormous Noob and Minsu, they've just been split pushing because there's so much distraction trying to take out even one champion on the side of North Georgia that Illinois have been able to split push. Almost a 1-3-1 at this point.
Yeah, you do have one main split pushing champion in Xenos LeBlanc. Once he has some sort of lead and has the Hex Tech Gunblade, there's literally nobody in the game who can deal with him. Add on top of that, Topopotamus has been on an absolute tear in the top lane with so much help from Minsu as well, that there just aren't enough answers for any single member. We're to the point where Illinois can basically do whatever they want by keeping the split push game rolling. And that is definitely an issue when Baron is also on the board. Pair a Baron with all the pushing potential right now, between a Morgana, between a Caitlyn, and all the split pushers on the map for Illinois. And it just all leads up to an Illinois victory here in game number 1.
Yeah, it's inevitable at this point. And once again, Georgia,
Engage
they
again.
just have to think. Yeah, I'll talk about that later. There's an engage coming out. There's the impale onto Budget Box from Minso, but he is going to be eaten up by Nimmerit. He will spat back out into safety. But now Nimmerit may be in trouble as well. He's going to be locked down. No, he's going to actually use a flash to get out of the soul shackles. So that is North Georgia getting away with their lives, but they leave the Baron exposed with no way of contesting unless they just want to completely die.
This is the only way North Georgia can get back into this game. If they can find something off this Baron, if they can find the legendary Baron throw coming out of Illinois, they have a chance, but that is a tall task rather, versus the level 12 versus level 10 jungle matchup and a Cho'Gath. You're going to need some miracles to be spun right here.
It's not going to be happening. This is not 34th Street or 44th Street. I forget the movie, but either
coming
way,
around.
No miracles to be had. Budget Box, he is going to go around. Is he going to be able to pick this one up? I say there's no miracles. There is the Cataclysm going to be locking everyone in, but Topopotamus is going to be able to cinch that one up with the Feast, and now flashed by Spirit Animal, going to be consumed as well by Nimmerit. They're trying to just block everything from engaging here on on the side of Illinois, but just a little bit too much, two down for North Georgia. That is the Tom Kinch and the Rakan. No protection left for quick crit or Spirit Animal. Zeno just gets in there and decimates him. They have an open inhibitor coming up pretty soon as they knock on the middle lane door of that inhibitor turret. They're going to take that one down. They even just finished out the game here, honestly.
10-1-2. That is not the scoreline you want to see on an enemy LeBlanc at this stage in the game. And yeah, they're going to have to come up with some answer because Zeno has just been on an absolute tear in this matchup. Going to be able to flash forward for that final kill. And 2-20, nearly 20k in the lead. Illinois look to end out game number 1.
They made it look very easy on the side of Illinois. North Georgia, they have a lot to think about coming into this. Oh, they did get a shutdown on Zeno, but it's just going to be a kind of a consolation prize for the loss here. Second place prize, we want to give it that. Nimmerit able to go down here, but North Georgia, they have to be thinking about game number 2 now in the drafting phase as the Nexus finally does go down. Illinois just wanted to get a few more stats on their record there with KDA. Of course, Zeno actually did go down, so is going to go down a little bit on the KDA percentage. But regardless, Illinois, decisive victory in game number 1.
Yeah, I mean, Illinois, they